coming today. So the Funny Heritage Library gratefully acknowledges that our work takes place within the Tanaha Amakis, the homeland of the Tanaha people. And today we're having a very special story time with some very special guests, you can see, and including you. You're a special guest too, and at home if you're watching. This story time is in partnership with the Elk Valley Suicide Task Force, and we're joined by Isabella GiaVulva, who is in town for the Dragathon, and Miss Bailey, our local Fernie carpenter, who is a big helper around the library. So they're going to introduce themselves a little more in a second, but we're going to do some silly songs first, just to get some of those like wiggles out, warm up maybe. It's a little cold out there. So if everyone could just stand up. Now, no one's too cool for this. We're all going to do it. All the adults too. We're going to do a silly head, shoulders, knees, and toes, okay? Probably haven't done that for a while, have you? Since you were even littler. But do you remember how? No? Okay, we're going to have to teach some of these people how to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So we'll start out slow, and then we'll get faster and faster until we're like super speed, like warp speed. Okay, ready? So we'll start out slow. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Okay, now we're gonna go faster. Yeah, faster. Okay. Ready? Okay. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Can we go faster?
Yeah.
No? Yes. Let's try. Okay. Ready? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes. Okay. Who got a bit muddled there? I got a little muddled with what was what. Okay. We're going to do a little version of Simon Says. Who knows Simon Says? Okay, we're going to do Simone Says, just to like even the playing field a little. Okay, so we're all standing. If you get out, you sit down, and then we're gonna have story time. Okay? So Simon says, put your hands on your head. Simon says, put your hands on your knees. Simon says, put your hands on your shoulders. Hands on your toes. Oh, you guys are good. This is gonna be tricky. Okay, we'll try it again. Okay, Simon says, spin in the circle. Or Simone says, nod your head. Simone says, blink your eyes. Simone says, clap your hands. Jump up and down. Oh, okay. Okay, we got some. It's okay. This is not a competition. We're just playing. Okay, who wants to take a turn? Do you take a turn? Simone says, oh, you guys want to take a turn. Okay. Simone says, touch your head. Okay. Why don't we wiggle our butts? Simone says, wiggle your butts. Simone says, shake your arms. Simone says, jump like a frog. Simone says, trunk like an elephant. Simone says, fly like a bird. Okay, tennis circle. Oh, very close. Come on. Okay, just for expediency, because we got to get moving along. Okay, let's do a couple more. Simone says, run on the spot. Stop. Did we get anyone? Okay. All right. Simone says, jumping jacks.
I was going
Turn around. Oh, you guys are so good. Okay, we're still doing jumping jacks. Okay. Simone says, wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. So good. Okay, let's try one more time. Simone says, pat your head. Rub your belly. Ooh. Okay, Simone says, rub your belly. Pat your head. Oh, you're doing it. You did it. Okay. All right. All of you are left standing. Good job. If you're sitting down, good job. Everyone did a good job. And now we're going to meet our guests a little more, and they're going to read some stories for you.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isabella, and this is my very good friend, Miss Bailey.
Hi, guys.
And we're going to be doing a little story time for you today. But we're doing a big fundraiser. We're doing a nice thing for the Fernie Dragathon where we're talking about mental health in the community, talking out so we can reach out to our friends and family and be able to speak to them. Whenever we have a time we're feeling sad or down, we can reach out to our parents, our friends, our teachers, and reach out and say, hey, I need a little pick-me-up, I need a bit of help. So we're going to do a little reading that hopefully talks a little bit about that first. So we're going to read A Shelter for Sadness by Anne Booth and David Lichfield. And Bailey, what are you reading today?
I'm going to be reading a book called A Sky Blue Bench by Bahram Rahman and illustrated by Peggy Collins.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. Should we dive into the books, Bailey?
All right, let's do it.
What do you guys think? Should we jump into this one first?
Yeah.
Okay, A Shelter for Sadness. Let's open it up, huh? Let's have a quick look at this. A Shelter for Sadness. Sadness has come to live with me, and I am building it a shelter. Got sadness right there, and a little wing boy right there. A shelter for sadness. I am building a shelter for my sadness and welcoming it inside. In this shelter, my sadness can turn to the wall or look out through the window. In the middle of the night or in the day, the windows will open to let sounds in or to close them to keep them out. The shelter I build for my sadness will have light from the sun or from the moon and the stars, but the windows will have curtains that my sadness can draw when it wants to, and light when it wants, from candles or lamps. See, there's a little window with all the light coming in, and he's with sadness. Lots and lots of light. My sadness can sit in darkness if it wants to, whatever it feels like, or no light at all. Because this is the shelter for my sadness, and it is a right to be there. And I will make my shelter strong, so that in winter, my sadness will be safe against the storms. But I will give it a little garden too, so that in spring, birds will come and build their nests, and the green shoots will peek through the dark earth. In summer, roses will bloom, and their scent will steal it under the door, and my sadness can open the windows and breathe in and smell them, if it wants to. Look at all those flowers, Miss Bailey.
That's beautiful.
In autumn, my sadness can look out at the trees and cry when the leaves turn red and orange and fall to the ground. Or it can go out and run through the leaves and hear the sounds they make. It can build bonfires and dance around them, or sit quietly and watch the flames. Anything it needs to. See, there's the sadness there. They're looking through the window. Sometimes I will visit my sadness in its shelter every day, every hour if needed. Sometimes we will run into each other's arms and hug and cry and talk. And sometimes just sit next to each other, saying nothing. Sometimes I will be too busy to visit my sadness for a while. But that's okay too. I have built a shelter for my sadness, and it is safe inside, and nothing will hurt it. I can visit whenever I need to, whenever it calls me, and whenever my sadness wants. It can come out of its shelter and hold my hand. And we will look out at the world and discover how beautiful it is, together. Together with my sadness. That was A Shelter for Sadness by Anne Booth and David Lichfield. What do we think of this book? Oh, Matthew McClain. Oh, thank you very much. You lovely students. Wasn't that interesting? Learning about sadness. We all go through sadness, don't we? But it comes at different times. It comes, it goes. Sometimes it will pass. Sometimes it will stick around. But don't be afraid of it. We just learn to deal with it together, like in the book. That little boy was great, learning how to embrace the sadness and understand it, and that's okay. I feel sad sometimes. I feel down. All these adults in here, Miss Bailey, do you feel sad sometimes? Lots? And that's okay. We all feel sad, but it will pass. It's okay to embrace it and just understand what that's feeling like, okay? So next time you're feeling a little sad, think about the shelter. Think about that little shelter. How can you build your little shelter for sadness too, okay? And Miss Bailey, you got a book as well, huh?
I do.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right. My book called A Sky Blue Bench.
Oh.
This is my first time doing Storytime. I'm really glad that you guys are my audience today. A Sky Blue Bench. To the children of Afghanistan. Okay. Arya walked carefully behind a long line of excited girls. She looked down to admire her new red shoes and tugged at her dress to make sure her helper leg was covered. Arya got a helper leg after she had an accident. She stayed in the hospital for a long time and rested at home. Now, she was ready to go back to school. But her school, a mud brick building, had no benches. During the war, all the wooden furniture had been burned to keep the houses warm. Arya was worried about sitting on the floor all day. When Arya arrived at her classroom, the other girls were already seated on the blue tarp that covered the floor. The teacher pointed to the back row where she could lean against the wall. Arya walked slowly, her face burning as she felt everyone's eyes on her helper leg. It didn't take long for Arya to realize that it was not easy to sit down or to get up from the floor. She tried sitting with her legs straight out, resting on her backpack, and tried standing against the wall, but nothing seemed to work. That night, when Mama tucked her into bed, Arya's eyes welled up. I don't want to go to school anymore. She couldn't hide the aches she was feeling from sitting on the hardwood floor all day. I know it hurts, Mama said, wrapping her arms around Arya, but I also know that you can get through this, my tough little girl. I can carry your books, Arya's little brother Babak chimed in. I'm a big boy now, see, my baby tooth is loose. He wiggled it with his finger, making Arya smile. Arya laid in her bed with her eyes wide open. She thought about how much she would miss school if she never went back. She wouldn't be able to read or write. Something must be done, she said to herself. It was right before dawn when a brave idea came into her mind. I'll build myself a bench. Surely that will help. When Arya told her classmates about her idea, they laughed and said, girls don't build benches. And she said, I can do anything a boy can. After school was let out, Arya and her friend paced the city collecting discarded wooden boards, broken pieces of chairs, and lots of nails with screws. Arya carried her findings in her backpack and stacked them under a cherry tree in her backyard. Blisters appeared on her sun-baked hands. Later that week, Arya and Mama went to see Kaka Najir, the carpenter in the old city, for some help. They treaded the narrow roads, past the blue mosque, and through the Walter Bazaar, where groups of children were selling chewing gum and colorful paper pinwheels. Arya offered a sweet loaf of bread to Kaka Najir in return for teaching her how to make a bench. It's all about figuring out how the pieces fit together, like a puzzle, he said. He loaned her some of his work tools, a hammer, a saw, a chisel, different types of screwdrivers, and a brush stiff with dry paint. Handing her a pen, he said, this paint is my gift to you. Sky blue is the color of courage, peace, and wisdom. When the weekend finally came, Arya woke up with the sunrise. She set up her workstation under the cherry tree. Her eyes were alight and her movements were brisk. First, she drew a bench pattern on the wooden boards. Then, with help from Mama and Baba, she sawed the boards into many pieces. Sawdust blew across across the backyard, leaving an earthy scent behind. Like a puzzle, Arya said to Babak, showing him how to hold the pieces steady. She pressed the tip of the nail into the wood and hit it hard with the hammer. Thud, thud, thud. At last, Arya dipped the brush into the sky blue paint and splashed layer after layer onto the wooden bench. Sky blue is for courage, peace, and wisdom, Arya whispered to herself. On Monday, when Arya's classmates arrived at school, they found a sky blue bench right where Arya always sat. It was not too high and not too low, and it had enough space for two girls to sit. The girls circled around with their fedoras pulled over their mouths. Wow, they said, it's beautiful. Standing by the window, Arya watched her classmates' surprised faces. Will you teach me how to build a bench too? One of the girls asked Arya. We need tables, another said, bouncing up and down like a rubber ball, and a bookshelf too. Arya thought about her can of sky blue paint. There was still plenty left. Yes, she said, with a smile as wide as the sky. We can build everything we need together.
Oh, beautiful.
That is Sky Blue Bench.
Yes, beautiful. What did you think of the books, everybody? Big thumbs up? Nice. Beautiful. Now, just quickly, I want to say something to you. My name's Isabella, and I'm a drag queen, okay? Do you guys know what a drag queen is?
Yes.
Yeah, so I put on way too much makeup. I wear high heels. It's been a lot of fun. I've been doing it for a couple of years. And as I've gotten to learn how to do this and get into more drag, doing more things like coming to do stuff like this with you today, I've learned that I really love doing this. I love being who I am and being very comfortable with who I am. And I know deep down when I get to do this that I'm loved and that I'm beautiful and that I can build a shelter for my sadness because sometimes I feel down too. And I think it's important that you guys know that too. That whatever you want to do in this life, you know, whoever you want to be, explore it because you are loved and each and every one of you are beautiful. Okay? And you can find that shelter for your sadness, and it's okay not to be okay. Isn't that right, baby?
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. And what do we have over here, baby?
This?
Oh, this, what is
Do
that?
you guys have any ideas?
Oh, we got a couple.
All right.
What
What
do
are
you
you guys'
think it is?
ideas?
I think it's a box with something in it.
Oh,
That's a good
okay.
guess.
What about you, Dave? What do you think it is?
I think it's like sort of like a puppet show, sort of like scenes.
Oh, that would be exciting.
Very good guess.
That's very good guess. Yes, what do you think?
Is it a sadness shelter?
Is a what?
Is it a sadness shelter?
It is a sadness shelter, yes.
It is.
Baby, let's
This-
have a look.
This is going to be a sadness shelter that everybody in the community can share.
Oh, wow. And what's it called, baby?
This is a little free library. And at some point in the spring, it will be put up somewhere in town, and anybody can go in and choose a book and maybe replace it with one that you've already read, or maybe just take one to read.
And the books are all going to focus on things like the books we've read today, A Sadness Shelter, things that talk about mental health to show you that it's okay not to be okay. So this book is going to be, this little sadness shelter, our little Fernie Heritage mini library is going to be around town for you to come and look and see different books that are all going to focus on mental health. So you can come, take a book and read and find out about how you can get in touch with who you are as a person. So that has been done by Bailey's team, and that's been incredible. Look at the craftsmanship on that. That's beautiful. I would never be able to build something that good. And Bailey, you built that all by yourself, huh?
I did build this, yes.
Oh, wow. And how long have you been building for, Bailey?
I've been crafting all my life with wood and building things like forts and just anything that I can get my hands on, really. But I've been building here in Fernie for 3 years.
Oh,
and
wow.
I work for a company that is locally owned and operated, but called LWE.
Oh.
And we get to build some of the beautiful houses in this town.
It's great finding something you love doing, doesn't it? Isn't
Yeah.
it? You love crafting. I love crafting my face and looking beautiful. We all love to find what we love to do. And that's what it's great, you know, try and find what you love to do. What do you like doing?
I like spending time with my family because it makes me happy because it's like I get to spend time with them every day because they're part of my life.
Oh, spending time with your family is some of the best time you can spend in the world. Spending time with your family is great. It doesn't even have to be a family. It can be a close friend. And spending quality time with people is irreplaceable. What else? What do you like doing? Yes.
Me?
Yeah, what do you love doing?
I like to draw.
You like to draw? You're an artist. What do you love to draw?
My original characters.
Oh, what, sorry?
My own characters.
Oh, your own characters? Do any of those characters have a name? Oh, awesome. I'd love to see one. Can I see one of those characters later? I'd love to see. That'd be awesome. Yeah, what do you love?
I like doing art.
You love doing art too? Who likes doing art here? Put your hand in. I love art. Art's great. Everybody loves art, huh?
Everybody.
Does anybody have anything else they love doing? Yes, sweetheart.
I like to read and listen to music.
Oh, who do you like listening to music? Everybody. Just everybody. Death metal, hip hop, whatever it is. You love it. Yes, what do you love?
I like skiing.
You like skiing. You like to shred the knob on the ski hill. Fernie's great for skiing. Yet, what about you?
Probably hanging out with my friends and my best friend because they make me feel really happy.
That's great. That's great to have a best friend, to have someone that you can confide in, that you can talk about. Lastly, what do you love to do?
I play on my Switch.
Switch, gaming, that's great. There's a lot of friends on the online gaming world as well. You can find friends, a community online. Last one, Donald. What do you love?
I like reading,
Mhm.
school, and traveling.
Oh, nice. And don't we have a great library here? There's so many great books here at the Fernie Heritage Library. I love coming in here, picking up different books, like A Shelter for Sadness by Anne Booth and David Lichfield. But it's important, whatever you love doing, harness that. You're at an incredible age that you get to soak up so much of this world. If it's art, if it's music, if it's skiing, soak it up, love it, embrace it, throw yourself into life. And it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes when you're still feeling up, you come down. Sometimes you will feel sad, even when you're with your family. Even when you're out skiing, even when you're doing a drawing. You might feel a little sad. That's okay. You are still beautiful. You are still loved by your friends, your family, by this community, okay? So can everybody say a couple of things after me? Is that okay if we do that? Everybody repeat after me. And you two watching at home on the Zoom link, okay? Say it loud and proud. You ready, Bailey?
I'm ready.
I am loved.
I
am loved.
I am beautiful.
I am beautiful.
It's okay to understand my shelter for sadness.
It's okay to understand my shelter for sadness.
That one might have been a little bit too long. And it's okay not to be okay.
It's okay to be okay.
Thank you. You guys are lovely. Very smart kids. Your teacher's been teaching you very well. Thank you so much. Is there anything else from the library? That was so good. I'm so happy that I get to be a part of this.
I just want to come on and say thank you so much for coming and for watching, and thank you to our wonderful guests and a wonderful, inspiring story time. That felt really nice. Did you guys enjoy that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Isabella GiaVulva and Miss Bailey, and thank you to the Elk Valley Suicide Task Force for all the wonderful work that they do.
Yeah.
Okay, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.